Do clients really want the good job, or do they want your success as the person behind the camera?
Nobody really cares about the success of you. Like I said, hype matters a lot and people work towards the hype. Yes, but apart from the hype, they still want to get great service from you.
100%.
Yeah, so I think both works very well. Both works. I've seen in so many cases people don't actually have good customer relationship. I'm sure they also had to ask her, how is working with this person? How is working with Lucas? How is it?
What do you think about mental health in this line of work?
Mental health. Oh.
You guys are welcome on this episode. I think it gets with each episode, everything gets better and better and better. And on today's episode, we have someone I called King in the East, Lucas Baba. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Baba. I appreciate.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be here.
You're welcome. What do you think about you being the king in the East?
Well, I don't see myself as a king in the East. Well, but when they talk about top photographers in the East, they always call my name, but I always don't see myself as the king in the East. And this is because I'm not just based in the East anymore. I used to based in the East, but not anymore. Now I'm everywhere. Do you get? So, but yeah, that's it.
Am I the first person to call you king in the East?
No, obviously not. Everyone does. But like I
wow.
said, I just don't consider myself a king when it comes to, especially when it comes to photography. It's very diverse for somebody to be a king. It's not possible.
I think one thing that is there is that I think big people are always trying to be humble.
God.
Because here's the thing.
Okay.
I've not heard the king in the East before because I
Okay.
personally call you the king in the East.
Okay.
I think the first time I worked with you,
Yeah.
I didn't really know who you were.
Yeah.
And there was a guy working with me. The guy was just like, "Oh, Lucas, you
Yeah.
have to shoot me
Mm-hmm.
with Lucas. You need to shoot me with Lucas. This is and I was another person too. Lucas. Another person too. So and I had to check
Okay.
your page and be like, oh, this person is actually this person bad, and all of that. And what I really love about you is the fact that we have so many people that look up to you, and the young people and even other kind of set of creatives.
Yeah.
And they people like you so much.
Yeah.
Like a whole lot of people. How does it feel to be the king? You're a king. I think you should accept it.
Amen to that.
Tell me thank you.
Thank you. But anyway, it feels good to be recognized, to be loved. Whenever you step out, you come for an event or maybe you go out, people will be like, this Lucas, are you you're the famous Lucas and all that. And it feels good, and most especially because they recognize my work. And that's the most important thing for me, my work, and not just me. So that's how I feel. It feels very nice to be recognized by my work.
I really love that because it's everything's about your work and all of that.
Course.
One thing about you is that your work feel like a much more younger person.
Okay.
Whenever I see your work, it feels like it's a much more younger person that did this.
Yes.
And all of that. There's a way I measure things and all of that because your work are calm.
Okay.
They are playful. They are subtle but extremely magical. Another thing I've seen that is fascinating is the fact that you're doing weddings and also doing photography
the
in
creative
general.
shots, yeah.
And you are excellent in all.
Yeah.
It's actually really hard to find someone
Very,
like
very
that.
hard.
How have you been able to manage all of these things together?
Okay. So I think you are the first person to actually say this. And, I feel like you do this as well. You do
I
the
was
creative,
expecting
you
that.
do the creative shot. So it's you inspire as well. You inspire because,
Thank you
like
for
I
that.
said, it's not always easy. Whenever I tell photographers that it's very hard to do both wedding and portrait, and I'm not just talking about any portrait. I'm talking about creative shots that you can even go for an exhibition. You can use it for an exhibition. It's very hard, So I always bring out your page to show people, the photographers. Oh, look at Justin Josh. He's a top wedding photographer and also a top creative photographer. And also, it's very hard because it's hard, like I said. But at the end of the day, I will not lie. One is actually suffering. One will have to suffer. And obviously, it's my creative photography because now I'm getting more known based on my wedding photography. So everyone that calls me, before they used to, when they say Lucas Ugo, they'd be like, "Oh, Lucas, you do amazing creative shot," but not anymore. It's more of weddings now. Everybody's like, "Oh, you are an amazing wedding photographer," and all that. In as much as yes, it's good, but I still feel a little bit bad because, to be honest, the creative photography is actually my passion, is what I love to do. But it's something that is not really, it doesn't really pay off that much.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't really pay off that much. So we just have to diversify. While we are doing the wedding photography, we can as well just be doing the creative shots by the side, the creative photography by the side. So yeah.
Oh, that's actually profound.
Mm.
Here's the thing. Whenever people are asking how a photographer, let me use me for
Yeah.
instance, asking me how do you do this?
Mhm.
How do you do that? How do you do this? There's a question they don't ask in
Yeah.
which you've touched on it, but
Yeah.
I will still want to lay some
Yeah.
emphasis on it. They don't ask about how are you able to balance wedding
Wedding.
photography,
Exactly.
portrait and
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and creative
Creative
art
arts.
aspect of photography
It's
together,
very hard
and you are excellent
in all of them.
in all of them.
Yeah. It's true.
How?
It's true. It's true. Uh, like I said, I think I've already thought on it, but is I just believe that what you have a passion for, what you love, it doesn't just go away. It's something that, for example, now, like I'm always shooting weddings, but sometimes I'll just be like, no, I miss shooting my creative shots, and I'll be like, oh, who is available? Okay, let me just create something. I just go to my, just check out for, okay, what am I going to create? Let me create something, magical and all that. And yeah, I'll just do it. I still get inquiries for my portrait and all. So I also do them, but I do not get inquiries as much as the wedding photography anymore. So like I said, it's just quite difficult, I will not lie.
Yeah. So I like the fact that hearing this thing
Mhm.
from you, there's a sense of relief
Yeah.
because being an all-rounded photographer
Yeah.
is very, very
No, it's very hard.
difficult.
It's very hard because photography is diverse. They have a wedding photographer, portrait photographer, landscape photographer, architectural photographer,
Yes.
wildlife photographer. A lot, and you cannot do all. They have
Yeah, you
product
cannot do all.
photographers, just a lot, a lot.
Mm.
So it's very difficult.
So I see so many people, they'll be like, I want to be like you and all of that. If you're to give someone that is just starting off business or photography advice, will you advise someone to be like you or to choose a particular area of photography?
So I would not necessarily tell the person to be like me. Obviously, you can be better.
Now,
Uh,
what I mean
uh,
by be like you is in
the
the sense
aspect of
of
wedding,
do so many
so many
kind
things,
of photography.
photography. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I will still say this. I will not tell someone to be like me because, like I said, I'm even still finding it difficult to combine the
everything
two
together.
together. So I would always tell the person to just focus on one photography. Focus on the one that you know that it gives you joy. And like I said, while I'm even doing both is because I started off as a creative portrait photographer before I now ventured into weddings. Yeah. So and now, we have a lot of photographers, creatives. So you just have to find one and be a master in that, because these days if you tend to uh diversify, maybe go to weddings, or it's like I said, it's going to be difficult. And there's a lot of trainings that you still need to
Go into.
go into. You are going into the creative, is a different training for creatives. Creative photography is a different training for wedding photography. So you might not really have that time to do all these things. You can just focus on one. Maybe when you feel like you have gotten to a certain level in that aspect of photography that you're doing, you can still now diversify. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you are starting up, you are trying to combine the two together, it doesn't make sense. You might lose focus. You might even be discouraged. Do you get? So you just have to focus on one. Just, when you get to a certain level, then you can continue.
Yeah, I like that. So,
Mm.
what is your creative process? What goes what goes on your head when you're shooting weddings, and when you change,
Okay.
and now you want to shoot portraits?
Okay.
Because coming from a photographer as well,
Okay.
because I know that you have to be another person to shoot
Of
wedding,
course. Of course.
then another person to
Yes.
shoot lifestyle,
Yes.
another person to shoot some portraits,
Yes. Okay.
another person
To
to be a fine art
It's true.
photographer.
It's true.
So, how do you interchange and all of that?
Okay, so when it comes to weddings, I turn myself to, how would I put it? I always put myself in the couple's shoes, in the sense of they are playing the love. I don't know how to put it, but it's more like a love scene. That's how I always put it. And that's why I love candid shots a lot. I love candid, okay, I just tell the couple, okay, just keep talking to each other, keep running, just keep doing your thing. So I just turn it to more like a love movie. Do you get? Yes. So that's how I shoot weddings. Anytime I'm shooting a wedding, I just see it as, oh, there's this romantic movie. And most of the time, even when I want to shoot a wedding, I go to all this, I just watch all these romantic movies, most especially the angles, maybe just how they talk, how they interact with each other. So things like that, I tend to just, you know, bring it into my head and just do the shoot. But when it comes to the creative part, I used to draw. I used to be like an artist. I used to draw,
Oh,
yeah.
do
So
you still have your drawings?
nah, not at all, not at all. That was way back, So I now, when I want to shoot my creative photography, I now switch back to that artist mode. I'm more of now this is something I can just, if it's something I can draw, I can bring it to life with my photography. So this is me. I would tend to just something, oh, maybe I just want this hair to be like, oh, African, just creative. I want the dress to be like, just flowy, something like that. Anything artistic that will bring the artistic vibe to it. So I always treat myself to that artist mode or whatever. So yeah.
That's quite fascinating. Another thing I'm getting to
Mm,
like about you, it
mm,
seems we have so many things in common.
mm-hmm.
Like I used to draw too,
Of course.
and the difference between me and you is that I still have all my drawings.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Ah.
I kept everything from way back. So
Wow.
yes, so there's something I want to touch on. There's this psychology aspect of juggling this business together.
Okay.
Again, coming from someone like you,
Yeah.
uh, I want to ask you, I want to know if it's the same thing for you.
Okay.
There are things we shoot that doesn't give us money
Of course.
or gives us joy.
Jesus. Exactly. Exactly. So I can talk, yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
you can
so
carry
and
on.
that's the creative photography I'm talking about. It gives you. That's why I said it is my passion. I love it, and that's why I thought on it doesn't really pay us, but that's why we now have to diversify. For me, to weddings. Do you get? So I can still make the money and still do what I love to do, and that is the creative process. And now I've learned that that creative process can actually give me money.
I
Through
love that.
what? Through exhibition.
Mm.
I did my first exhibition that was 2 years ago, and it was massive.
I
I
never
did it.
even knew you had an exhibition.
Yes, I did. Ifenkili by Lucas Ugo.
Whoa, I
Yeah,
love the name
it
already.
was really nice. Dignitaries came in South in Enugu, so it was amazing. Not like I made much money, but it was really. I I've never felt so happy. You know, seeing your works, people are actually buying your works, and when you go to someone's house, you're seeing your artwork
Seeing your
up.
artwork, you just feel
Oh
like.
god, oh god. Okay, so it was really amazing. So I have another one coming up. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know this year or next year, unfailingly, but this one is not just for my work anymore. It's for photographers to come and exhibit, to showcase their work,
I'm looking forward to
to
it.
showcase their work, creative photographers. Because I noticed something, I even went to a recent art exhibition here in Lagos. I don't want to mention the name. And I noticed that it was artists. They were showcasing their work, and I saw a little space where they gave for photographers. So I went there. The photographers, everybody recognized me. I don't know how people recognize me because I rarely post my face on anywhere,
Mama, you be
but
celebrity.
but they recognized me and they started complaining about, oh, see the little space that they even it was the short notice that they even told them, oh yeah, just the ones that has already submitted their work. Okay, just bring your stuff. Let's just showcase and all. That the curators even said that photography is not an art. It's not supposed to be showcased. I'm like, that's the worst thing anyone can say about photography. Photography in general is an art. So this is why I will be doing the exhibition very soon. So only for photographers. That has always been the what's it called, the vision for the Ifenkili by Lucas Ugo. Only for photographers to exhibit, to showcase their work, so that because at the end of the day, the creative photography part in Nigeria is dying. If we are being honest, it's actually the fine arts photographers is actually that, because these people are losing, they are being discouraged. Everybody's now switching to weddings. I don't know if you get me. So this is why I want to bring it back. So
One thing I love about this conversation
yeah.
is that the way we're
Mm,
switching from
mm-hmm.
weddings
Yes.
to art
Of
to
course.
everything and all
Yeah.
of that is actually quite
Yeah.
interesting. And you've touched on a
Mm.
major problem in the country
Yeah.
in which art
Mm-hmm.
is dying.
It's
I
dying.
mean, fine art photography
Photographer. Yeah.
is dying. There's something I posted recently. I said if money
Mhm.
was not the problem, if sales is not the problem, what
Mm.
would you create?
If money is,
If sales is not the problem, what will you create?
if sales is not the problem, I'm
There's a
confused
there's a
though.
there's a there's a like if making money is not the thing,
Yes.
like let's say you have all the money to yourself
Yes.
and all of that,
Okay.
what will you create?
What will you create?
Yeah, I like the fact that
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
deliberately keeping the fire of fine art photography burning.
Of course.
Because as you said, I think I had my exhibition in 2024
Yeah.
November
I saw it.
for the
It was
first
very
time.
dope.
What actually pushed me into that is, aside from the whole story behind it, I had a rejection because I went to submit one of my art.
Yeah.
So it was rejected. People look down on creative fine art.
Fine art. Yeah.
The reason that there are people from, I think, collectors,
Collectors, yeah.
people in the art industry,
Yeah.
I think they feel is very simple.
Yeah.
But looking down on it is not the problem.
Mhm.
The problem is, now, can we defend our art?
It's true.
Then I find out something. I found out that the difference between an artist and a photographer is broad. Like
Really
the
broad.
gap between an artist and a photographer is broad. So it's like a journey that you need to walk through yourself as a photographer
Of course.
to be an artist. Then the major thing I am going to touch on is ability to fully express yourself, not just with your heart,
Yes.
but also with like communicating to your audience when you're being asked about your art.
Of course. Of course.
Because I see that so many other artists can talk so much about their
artworks,
artworks and all that, but photographers, speaking from my own angle, before I had to learn,
Yes.
we don't really go deeper.
Deeper.
Photographers, we are on the
Surface level. Yes.
surface level. So I was able to tap into my inner self
Yes.
and know myself more,
Of
because the
course.
first thing is to know yourself more,
Yeah.
to know why are you creating this.
Creating
Are you just
this.
creating this because everything that is being created is not just out of the blues.
Out
It's
of-
something you've seen before
And you tell a
heard
story
before,
behind
You're
it.
telling a story.
Mhm.
So ability to tap into that
So-
story again
Of course.
and be able to say it,
Yeah.
like be able to communicate it to people. So I improved on that.
Yeah.
So just like you are angry that
Mhm.
little or no
Mm.
respect is being given to digital photography,
Digital.
I am
Yes.
equally angry. And I've been able to, through my heart, because I create, aside from shooting,
Yes.
I do mixed media
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So I do some handcrafted art.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
as well.
nice.
So I've been able to let people know that camera is just one of the two we use.
Okay.
You can't just attribute all our effort to, oh, it's just
Mhm.
pictures
Yeah.
and you can just easily replicate it.
Yes.
Just because it took someone
Mhm.
hundreds of hours to draw a
To draw,
particular thing
yeah.
or to create a particular thing doesn't mean that everything I create is just in one click.
One click.
Like
They
you
don't-
said something.
Yeah.
You said you draw things out.
Of course.
You plan it. You think about it
Mhm.
before you shoot it.
Before you shoot.
Now, for we photographers to now be an artist,
Mhm.
we need to be able to document all the process
We're doing.
and be able to, what was it called? Tell
So a
a
story.
story about the process, so they will know that you're looking at the final click.
Yes.
This thing is beyond
Mhm.
just clicking. So I love the fact that you touch on it,
Yeah.
and I would love to be a part of
And
it.
also, apart from even the what's it called, the drawing, telling a story, even when it comes to the light setup of shooting fine art, the lighting is different. People forget about
100%.
that. The lighting alone is the art. People don't realize that, because the way you shoot fine art is not the way you shoot a normal client.
100%.
It's not. You try different light setup, that would actually resonate with the image you're trying to create. I did a shoot, for Amadioha. Amadioha is an Igbo god.
Yes.
Is an Igbo god. So, I want to create a series about the Igbo gods, because me personally, I'm more of a traditional guy. I'm a Christian, but I'm also a traditional guy. So I want to create a series, to talk about the Igbo gods, and also for people to see, because when they talk about the Igbo gods, they talk about the Ikenga stuff. Most people, they see it as, oh, this is what they use for rituals and all those things. No, it doesn't work like that. Do you get? So I want to create a series that people can actually see that, oh, these are the things, this is the reason why we worship that, this is the story behind this thing. So I created one, which is the Amadio. Like I said, I barely have time to do all those things because of weddings. I created one and it was very nice. So the light setup, when I started, I wanted to shoot it like a normal what's it called, client this thing. It was not giving. I had to change my light setup. I had to, because the vision was I want Amadioha to be like he's ascending from the sky. And how did I do that? I had to put up a light that would be like a sunlight. These are the things that these are the art, So people think, oh, you just click the camera. No. So I had to do my light. I had to position my light in a way that, it will give me that sunset feel. I don't know if you're getting me.
I
The
get you
costumes
100%.
and all those things, then the post-production. Because at the end of the day, you need to do a lot of edits that will still work with that style, that will still tell that story. So, yeah, fine art is a very beautiful stuff.
I think we need to really
Mm.
bring it back, and we really need
Definitely,
to
definitely.
do more on more things on it.
Yeah.
So I digress a bit.
Yeah.
So I want to really know you as a person,
Okay.
Lucas Ugo.
Lucas Ugo.
So tell me, aside from photography, tell me what do you do? Who are you outside photography? Because I see you're a celebrity too. I've seen you on some adverts.
Okay. So, first of all, apart from I'm a businessman, I run one or two on the side, but
Odogu.
yeah, but I do commercials, like I don't act. So I acted one movie, I did a special guest appearance for a movie, and the movie trended in it's been showing on African Magic Ife Diche. So a lot of people thought, oh, Lucas, you're an actor. I'm not an actor. I don't even want to be an actor because it's stressful. The little one I did, it was crazy. Then I also did I do model. I wouldn't say I have the body, but most times people say, oh, I have the look, so please can you come and model this thing for me and all those things. Maybe because of my BSA. So I do some, just part of modeling for maybe just for brands, So, and other than that, me, I'm a fun person. I love to travel. I love to travel, and yeah, and I love to be with my wife. Yeah. So yeah,
I
that's
love
just me.
that. Shout
Yeah,
out
that's
to your
just me.
wife.
Yeah,
Shout
shout
out to
out.
your wife. I know she really.
Shout out to Ogo.
Hey,
If you're
oh God.
where's
How
shout out
God?
to Ogo.
Oh
Okay.
God, 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 God is really special.
Yeah,
Honestly,
she is. She
honestly, honestly.
is. That's my strength.
I really love.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
really good. So I wanted to ask you a question. Let's just get back into it
Okay.
right, real quick. So you've been traveling all over the country, from
Okay.
the east, coming to Lagos, going back to
Okay.
the east, and all of
Yeah.
that. Has it been so easy moving around?
Okay. So at first, it wasn't easy. So I will need to tell a little bit of story.
Okay.
So at first, I think, like I said, the first wedding we did together was at Marriott.
Yes.
So like I said, I was in the east. So, but I needed to come to Lagos because obviously Lagos is the land of opportunities, and I saw the kind of weddings they do in Lagos, and I'm like, no, Lagos is my style. Lagos is what I want to do. And I reached out to a bridal stylist, Lavish Bridal. God bless you, Lavish Bridal, wherever you are. She was the one that brought me. I was like, see, I can always come to Lagos and shoot a wedding for free. Please, whenever you have a wedding, please call me. I'll come and shoot for you. So that wedding that you saw me on that day, it was a free wedding. I came to shoot for Lavish Bridal. So anytime she has a work, she has a bridal styling, she will call me. I'll come from Enugu and shoot the wedding and go back. So that's how I started. That's how I started shooting and all that. And as God may have it, I was creating very good images, and people started recognizing. Oh, and that's when I now realized, oh, this is now the time for me to now move to Lagos. That was like 3 years ago. I mean, 4 years ago. I think 4 years ago. So that's when I now moved to. I moved to Lagos actually last year. Last year, yes. So this is me now, a newbie in Lagos and all that. So
What's a newbie?
so and yeah, it's been
Uh,
amazing. I've been meeting a lot of good creatives like yourself, people, when you see their work, you be like, oh, Omo, you need to do better. And one thing about the East, I'm sorry to say, East will make you feel so comfortable that, oh, you feel like you have arrived. No. I love good challenge, and Lagos will definitely challenge you. You feel like you're good. Person where they do you self, you go see person way pass you by far. You will have to step up your game, and this is one thing I love about Lagos and Lagos creatives as a whole, both videography, photography, everything you can think of. So that's my story.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
I
and
love that.
this
I
is my
love that.
first time saying this in public. First time saying this in public, so
Mm.
this is good.
Do you know one thing I like
Mm.
about this? This
Yeah,
is the essence
yeah.
of this whole podcast.
Podcast is amazing.
Because here is it then.
Mm.
People they see you and
Yes.
tell you how lucky you are.
Hmm?
They see you and tell you how God has blessed
Blessed.
you.
Yeah.
They see you and tell you how you had it easy, that
Mhm.
they thank God for yourself.
Yeah.
But they don't see the effort, the strategy,
The struggle behind
the
it.
struggle behind it. They don't see the humbleness for you to be able to reach out to someone.
Of course.
Lucas,
Mm.
this 4 years ago that you are saying this thing,
Yeah.
you were a star boy that 4 years ago.
Are you for real?
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing about people is that great people is that they don't
Mm.
actually know how great they are,
Yeah.
because I think is because probably they are not seeing themselves like that, because
Yeah.
they still have the urge
To do more.
to do more.
To
They
do more.
always want to
Which
do
I
more.
do. I still have
Yes,
the urge
yes.
to
So
do
that's why
Yeah.
that's what caused the whole humbleness and all of that. Then I want to ask you a question. Why is it that you guru creatives, you always want to improve? Why?
You
Creatives.
Yes.
Why is it that you always want to improve?
Well, as a creative, in everything you are doing, I would not even just say creative. As in everything you're doing, I think you should always try as much as possible to improve, because there's no point where you say, "Oh, you have reached the top." No, because when you feel like you have reached the top, other people are coming up. Other people are coming up with different ideas, different strategy. So you just have to, as long as you want to be in the market, you need to improve, keep on improving. A lot of things are coming out every day. Every blessed day, you see people now using AI to do different things and all that, and you be like, "Oh no, I don't want to use AI. I just want to do this thing." No, you can actually even learn the AI and not use it, but have the knowledge, because there will be a time whereby, oh, people are now going for that AI stuff, and if you have the knowledge, you blend in immediately. Do you get? So it's always very important that you just keep improving in every aspect of business that you're doing, not just even photography or anything. Yeah.
I really love that. The
Yeah.
fact that you're like once, because sometimes you get requests
Of course.
for things that you don't do.
You don't do.
So people will you ability to be able to
Yeah.
also do the same thing, not
Do the
just
same.
giving
I
a
had
series
to
of
yeah,
excuses.
I had to even learn AI, last year. I had to learn about it, because like I said, I was never a fan of all this AI thing and all that. But at the end of the day, I just told myself that, see, in as much as you're not a fan of AI, you still need to learn it just to have it. And trust me, I did a shoot, and I decided to use the AI, and the creative shoot, I decided to just infuse it a bit, and it was very amazing. It was amazing. It's just that I'm against people that just use a lot AI to generate every single thing.
Everything.
It doesn't know. It doesn't make sense. But yeah.
Oh, talking about AI, I love the fact, I wanted to ask a question
Mhm.
earlier, but I love the fact that you've already touched on it. Do
Okay.
you think AI is here to take out people's job?
It can never. One thing, AI is, it can never take away anybody's job. AI can only improve your job. You see people doing birthday shoots with AI. Yeah, if you ask them, they know that these things, it doesn't give them the joy as when the real life moments. AI is just there to improve your work, not to take away your job. So AI is can never. It's not even possible. It's not even a topic. That's the truth.
Well, one thing I love about it is that what was it called? Is the fact that you recognize that AI is actually not a challenge.
Never.
It's just one of the two we should add into our what was it called, our lifestyle. And
Yeah.
if I'm to add some touch on it,
Yeah.
one thing I love about human being is that as human being,
Yes.
we are insatiable.
Yeah.
We don't get satisfied.
Of course.
Once we're seeing one particular thing, we already want another thing.
Another
So
one.
as time goes on,
Yes. Of course.
it's changing and changing and changing and changing. Now, talking about change in this line of business, have you experienced like a drastic change in any way, either good, either bad, either ups, either down?
Well, I wouldn't say I've experienced any drastic change. I wouldn't say I've experienced any drastic change. I just feel like the only changes now, I'm talking about the wedding industry,
Okay.
wedding photography. Now, the only challenge I feel like is we have to put ourselves more so that people can, see us. I was never a fan of putting myself out there. I just want only my work to be there. That's how I used to operate. I don't ever want to. I don't post BTS. I don't post on my story. Once the pictures are out, I just drop it, and that's just it. But over time, I noticed that my clients started dropping. I wasn't getting clients. Ah, so at some point, I just said, "Oh, let me try this thing." Everybody's just posting themselves, posting themselves. One event planner even told me the same thing. And another guy, Durode, my guy, he told me about, bro, see, the first time we worked in Cross River, Calabar, he told me, bro, I know you, but this is the first time I'm seeing your face. So, but guy, you need to post yourself. Oh. These are the things that will even push clients to you and all that. So I really thought about it. And that time he told me that stuff. Like I said, I wasn't really getting clients. I'm like, is this the reason? Because I kept on asking myself, I know I'm good. What is going on? What is actually going on? So that's when I now started. I said, okay, let me try this stuff. I started posting myself. I'll go to any wedding. I'll post myself. I'll post on WhatsApp. I'll post on Facebook. These are the places I've never thought about posting. I'll post everywhere. And to be honest, clients started coming in. So the drastic change now is not just about your work anymore. It's about the hype. That's what is changing now. The hype. Clients are going for hype and not your work anymore. And it is just a few clients that will definitely go for your work. They see your vision and they want to work with that vision. But most clients now, they go for the hype. As long as you're in the news, as long as people are seeing you, you are everywhere. That's what they want. So I feel like that's the change there.
I really love that, and I like the fact that how did you and Duro talking?
Okay.
How did it start?
Oh, like I said, we met up in a wedding in Calabar. So that was the first time I saw Duro. I've seen his work, but that was the first time I saw Duro. So we introduced ourselves. That's when he now told me, "Oh, you're Lucas. I know you. I know you. I see your work, very dope work and all that, but I don't know the face behind it." So that's how we started off.
I love that because I've been trying to encourage
Yeah.
discussion
Yes.
within vendors,
Yes.
people in same line of
Of
work,
course.
and all of that. Because you
It
see
helps a
all
lot.
these discussions, I think it's worth more than attending a master class.
Of course.
Because
Imagine he didn't tell me that thing. I wouldn't have. Yeah.
there's something I used to tell people. I'll be like, if you are out of business, or if you're not making sales or money,
Yeah.
it's because you're proud. You're pride in the sense that look at you now.
Yeah.
You don't post on story. You don't post video of behind the scene. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't. Why do I need to show
Of course.
this thing? But we get to some level whereby business changes. We are not
Of
as
course.
young as we used to be.
Exactly.
And all of that. So now, ability to change with it, to put you might not see it as ego, but it's somewhat
Of
ego.
course. Of
Because
course.
this is business.
This is business.
You have to do what is required
Mm-hmm.
for the business to thrive. And as you said, that in this age, people resonate more
Yes.
with the person behind the camera,
Of
because
course.
I want to know the person. I want to get to
Of course.
I want to get to
To see how he interacts with clients, how
interact
he
with
works.
you
Yeah,
and all of that, because as especially weddings,
yes.
people feel more safe around you
Around you.
when they're actually really when they know you, they can talk to you, they like you and all of that. So yeah, pushed me to a question. I asked one of my friends one time. I said, during this time and age, what is most important? Do clients really want the good job, or do they want your success as the person behind the camera?
To be honest, I think it's both, because anybody that is booking you still want a good job. Apart from the hype, still clients wants a good service. Do you get? So I don't think nobody really cares about the success of you. Like I said, hype matters a lot, and people work towards the hype. Yes, but apart from the hype, they still want to get great service from you.
100%.
Yeah, so I think both works very well. Both works. Yeah.
So what do you think for people that that stop getting jobs and they just disappear away, and they still have good job, and they're still doing excellent photography and videography and all that? What do you think caused the whole no more job coming in?
Okay, so the thing, like I said, it should be hype. That's number one. Then also, people tend to not fully understand that I don't know, referrals, they are very important. So I've seen in so many cases people don't actually have good customer relationship with their clients. For me personally, I do have a good customer relationship. I treat all my clients like my friends, except there are some ones that love to be formal, and you still move, so you just need to understand the vibe. But you see, customer referrals is very important. That the first wedding, my first destination wedding in Rome, Italy, it was from my client, a client I shot a wedding. She referred me to the couple. The couple, they actually loved the work. Do you get? But I'm sure they also had to ask her, how is working with this person? How is working with Lucas? How is it? You understand? So it's not just about, and because we were she's amazing. She's amazing. She's an amazing bride. Apart from being a bride, she's such a sweet soul. So we connected. We connected, and even the images, you could feel the connection, because I saw the comments. Everybody was like, your photographer is really in love with your dress. Something like that. So I'm sure the client must have asked her, how is your relationship with this? So people don't tend to understand that customer referrals they are really important. We feel like because we now have social media where we can just post our work and go, people will just come and say, no, it doesn't work like that. Do you get? So you need the hype. You need the customer referral, yeah, and you need to be putting out good works. Just these three things, you are good to go. If you know work, now be say you need go back village, go find your village people. Don't wait till they happen for them.
And I think you're doing that excellently well.
Yeah.
I've worked with you a couple of times.
Yeah.
I like the way you relate with people on set
course.
and all of that. You're one kind of person that is very respectful.
No, of course.
Like I remember the first time we worked together, you were
Yeah.
like, no, that was not the first time. I think that was the second time.
Oh yes, that's true. Yes.
That was
Okay,
second time. We did
yes.
one on the Highlands together.
Yes, okay, yes, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true. I
That-
remember. Oh,
that
yeah.
day, I
Yeah.
was fucked up that
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
See, I was not in the mood for that shoot because I had multiple weddings that day.
Yes.
I had to run from one wedding
From
to
to
another
another,
one.
yeah.
My
Okay.
emotion was not there.
Yeah.
But what I just love about it is that I saw you that day and I see the way you are handling things and all
Yeah.
of that, relating to people and all of that. I was like, wow, I really like this
Yeah.
person and all that. And you are a master of using reflector.
Ah, I love natural light a lot. So it's my
So I feel like,
go-to.
because
Yeah.
anytime I'm working,
Yes.
I'm also learning from people.
Yes.
Because I teach people, this is how I teach my guys photography. I said, if you see someone creating something, you don't judge until you see what they are
what
taking.
they are doing.
I said, when you're learning photography, there are rules.
Of course.
But the moment you step out of learning and you're doing your thing,
Yeah.
to be creative is to do it your way.
Of course.
And all of that, I was like, wow, this person is doing magic with, I think you're using a zoom lens.
A zoom, yeah.
And all that, you're getting on your shot. It was really, I just asked my guy because I was fucked up that day. I had to just step aside. I just asked my guy, I said, anything that guy is taking,
take out.
that was a shadow. And meeting you on the second time, you were very, very respectful.
Yeah.
I still remember your exact words.
Yeah.
You were like, Josh, please, I'm here to shoot the
Yes,
outfit.
of course.
Can you just
Of
please?
course.
I will not do this.
Of
I will not
course.
do that. Wow,
Of
I was like,
Yeah.
that's actually excellent.
Yeah.
And all of that. And your work ethic and people. It's hard for people to love you if you are not a people's person.
No, of course.
If you don't really respect people.
Of course.
So I want to ask you a question. What do you think about our events, our photography, our industry in general? Mostly weddings, wedding industry in Nigeria. What's your opinion?
So the wedding industry in Nigeria is amazing. I won't lie, because we're like I said, we are creative people. We are creative people, and this is actually amazing. The way we put in, the down to styling, locations, and just a lot of things. Decorations, just the vibe. And that's why they say nothing like Nigerian weddings. Like I said, I've shot weddings outside, and what Nigerian weddings are just amazing. The only thing I just feel like is we still need to look into more of intimate weddings. Intimate, and when I mean intimate, like destination weddings. You can have a destination wedding in Nigeria and not travel. So I did a shoot. We went to Obudu Mountain Resort with Durode Pelaco, Event by Debbie. We planned a wedding shoot in Obudu. This is to showcase people that you can actually do the wedding. And I won't lie, the Obudu people, it was the first in history to actually do a wedding shoot in Obudu. They were so happy. The essay to the governor was so happy about it, that this will actually bring them, the tourism they are actually looking for. And it's a very nice place. You imagine doing your weddings, on the mountain top, and all those things. People can actually do even their weddings in a pine forest, something like that.
You're a crazy person.
Yeah, do you get? So we can actually switch. It should not always be about, let's do in a hall, massive hall. You can do the trad. Be massive. That's because I always say that traditional weddings is more like you're giving respect to your parents. But when it comes to the white wedding, I feel like it's not if you have the money to do anything you can do. But intimate weddings can still work in Nigeria. And when I'm talking about intimate, I'm thinking about something of destination. You cannot everything shouldn't be in your state. You can actually travel with friends, travel with people, like go to Obudu. They have another resort in, I don't know, Ibanola or something, in Ogun, Akure or something. Those places you can go with friends, do intimate stuff. It's just, so I feel like that's the only thing that is actually lacking a bit. People do intimate weddings, but I'm talking about now destination intimate weddings, traveling outside your state to do weddings. So I feel like that's what's actually lacking.
I like that, because so many people are thinking when it comes to destination wedding, you have to go outside Nigeria, you
Of
have to go
course.
outside Africa, you have to go.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people that you can create magic.
You can create, and
in
trust
this
me,
Nigeria.
even that thing that we created, a lot of inquiries have been going on. Oh, please, how can we get in contact? And I'm like, wait, so you guys actually love this idea?
100%.
No cap, I'm telling you. How can we get in touch with the GM? How can we get in touch with the person that arranged this stuff and other? And it's like, I even have one that is planning to go to Obodo to do their shoot in April. That's what we are even talking about, like, currently. So it's
I
quite
think
amazing.
I think I have to be on your team.
No, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Because that's my kind of vibe.
No, of course.
Because,
Of course.
I like the fact that you're making money.
Yes, you're
being
shooting what
happy.
you.
That's the that I used to run away from loving what I do.
Yes.
I think we actually love this thing.
Yeah, of course.
Because aside from the pay, you just shoot something and you just be like,
No, now, do you know when you actually love what you're doing? When it's not about the money. When you send the picture, you are just hoping to see, when the client tells you, oh, I love this work. Hey. So that's when you know that you love what you're doing.
This work.
You love what you're doing. So that sometimes when the clients will pay me, I'll be like, let's do this, and they'll be like, oh, they don't really have maybe this money to do this one. I'll be like, you know what? Let me use part of my money to do this thing for you. I'm doing it for the fun of it. I'm doing it for the love of it. Do you get? So I think that's the aspect
that means
of.
You're not only working for the client, you're also working for
yes,
yourself,
exactly.
Which is actually really important.
Yeah.
Which is really important. What do you think about mental health in this line of work?
Mental health.
Mental health.
Well, so I would say this. I see a lot of people that they work all the time, and they are always working. Me personally, I like enjoyment. No. So if I work, I know sometimes if I feel like the work is a bit too much, I will have to reject some jobs. My mental health is very important. I need to relax, and most of the time you see people, they might be taking jobs, and to deliver is a problem because you have so many jobs. So when I feel like, oh, there are a lot of jobs on my plate and all that, I would tend to because at the end of the day, I keep saying this, money is very good though, but money is not everything. Money is not everything. You see my peace. My peace is everything for me. So yeah, I think that's how my own mental health is. I just love to enjoy.
Do you think you can burn out?
Oh, of course you can. Of course you can. But most of the burnouts, is mostly Easter, December jobs. Because that time you're shooting like back to back. These are the times that, but the truth is, in as much as it's not that much, because I already have, like, when December is coming, you already know that it's going to be so you just have to, position yourself to, like, just get the best and not stress yourself that much, So, and I always plan ahead. I plan ahead so much. So yeah,
I think you don't have problem with you can't really have problem with burnout because you're already having fun.
Yes,
you plan ahead.
Yeah,
whenever the work is getting in your line, you cut it down and all. So you are fully in control of your
but
business.
I feel like, to be honest, there's no business that you're doing that you might not get burnout, like, because let's say, for example, someone playing football. Football is passion. You love playing football, but at the end of the day, there will be a point whereby they are training back to back. They are playing this football. They are playing this one. Or more, you definitely burn out. So Yeah, but at the end of the day, you just have to overcome it and get used to it. Yeah.
I see, I see. So let's quickly touch on what brand of camera do you use and why?
Okay. So, that's funny enough. I used to use Canon R to shoot with Sigma, with my Sigma lens. But I will say this, and this is my first time saying it. I don't work. I've never been pressured in my life. I've never. If you carry pressure, come. Nobody they pressure me for this life. I walk on my own lane. I stay on my own lane. I walk on my that's just me. So, but at some point, people started saying, Lucas. When I come for an event, people will be like, because it's Lucas, they'll be like, they are checking your camera. And they'll be like, oh, Baba na Baba, you get more. Why you no want? I say, now this one, they give me waiting I want to. I'm like, no, Baba, you said you hide your camera somewhere. I'm like, no, this is what I used to shoot. And when I show people, they don't believe it. And I feel like most times photographers in Nigeria, they don't read specifics of cameras. They just buy camera because it's trending. So, but at some point, it started feeling like, nah, am I really? This is becoming. It be like say people don't they see me less. So why every time you're using R? I just said okay. Let me just kukuma buy this. Let me buy the R5. Let me buy the what's it called, the RF lenses. Let me see. And to be honest, I shot with it. It did not work with my style. It is a different color tone. It did not work with my style. I shot it for the first time. A client complained after how many, bro? I can't remember the last. I no go lie for you. This is not a joke. I cannot remember the last time a client complained about my picture. And the client complained that I just immediately, when I was even editing the pictures, I could tell that something is off. So what I do now, I now use the R5, and now you still use my Sigma. To still give me that. I'm not saying R5 is a very amazing is obviously R5 Mark II is an amazing camera, but it just doesn't work with my style. It doesn't work with my style. So, and like I said, I was pressured to buy the R5. I don't know if you're getting me. So, yeah, that's it.
You
Yeah.
don't want to. You're a very honest person.
No.
Because
Yeah.
we are all the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'm not a fan of buying so
Mm.
many gadgets.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the same thing that happened to you happened to me. When
Okay.
I still use 5D Mark IV.
Yeah.
So I was shooting one day and I see all these young guys, they're using R5, R and all of that. And they're like, now this camera you they use this and that. Guy, you bad or you do this, you do that. So I tell people, I said there are multiple things. Number one, if you're buying a gadget, why are you buying it?
Why are you buying? Exactly.
The question is why.
Exactly.
There's some category of people that get pressured into buying it because earlier that person are buying it.
Right. I
There's
feel
some
bad for
category
myself.
of people that want to buy it. It's not necessarily bad. It's not bad.
No, of course.
There's
I
some
know.
people that buy it because they are in need of it. This is what makes me change camera.
Yes.
Anytime my camera is now slower than what I should.
Shoot. Yes.
So I tell people, I tell my guys, not people in general, I be like, anytime you want to, all these things are not compulsory. It's based on what you're used to using. So if you now see that you need something more, then you can go for it. But you don't have to just look at people and buy. If you see, there's a lens that is circulated in our Nigerian industry, 85mm 1.2. Almost everybody has.
So I got that. I also got even 28 to 70. 28 to 70 2.0. That's, you don't see it you have to pre-order it. 28 is the RF lenses. And all these things that I purchased, I'm only using the R5. and my Sigma. I still switch back to my Sigma and R5. Now, why R5 is an amazing camera, and this is because of the fast shutter. Like your
Yes.
clicking is, is definitely the best camera for weddings. But like I said, my R was still giving me.
What you want.
Do you get what I'm saying? So now the RF lenses I bought, I kept it one side, and I'm still using my Sigma. I wouldn't call it waste of money. Maybe at the end I will still have to now figure out. So this will be me trying, resetting
Yes.
my style all over just to switch to a particular
Yeah, the
lens.
particular lens, 100%.
And like I said, if I bring the pictures I've shot with R and R5, you will not know the difference. And that's why when people saw that I was using R, everybody was like, any wedding I go to, because when they see Lucas, both the videographers, everybody will be like, Lucas, they want to see, they feel when they see Hasselblad for them, but when they now see the R, they'll be like, Lucas, now R you they use baba, for it. I'm like, what is all this? And like I said, I feel bad not because I bought the camera, but because I was pressured to buy that camera. And it's working for me, like I said. But I just feel I would have bought it just for myself, not being pressured. So this is the first time I'm saying this. I was pressured to buy it.
No. I think it's everyone.
Huh?
It happens to everyone. In the sense that, here's the thing. I told someone, what I used to do, anytime I'm talking to my guys, I'll be like, there are some lenses we buy that we just create a need for it. Sometimes it's just ego.
It's true. Ego.
Yes.
Ego. You want to come out as,
sometimes
man,
it's
they
just-
use gadgets.
Yeah, sometimes it's just ego.
Hey,
It's
bro.
not that important.
Bro. You see, okay, the weddings I shot, like I said, I shot a wedding in Italy. I shot a wedding in Mexico. These people don't even use Canon. They use cameras, small cameras like Leica. These are white photographers, Leica. I'm not saying, shoot like white photographers, but they still get amazing qualities. Amazing quality of pictures. So at the end of the day, this is what I always say. I advise the upcoming photographers, it's not just about the gadgets. It's about the person behind the gadgets.
100%. I like that. This has been really fun conversing with you. I actually wish this episode won't stop.
Yeah.
So let me quickly ask you something before we round up.
Okay.
What's your opinion on investment?
Oh, you see why I just love this podcast. So, like I said, I've been a fan before, I got the invitation, immediately you posted the first stuff, I even subscribed. So I love the podcast and because it's quite innovative, it's very educative. And this question is very important. Investment. You know that a lot of photographers are broke. And this is the problem. They are all about which new camera they invoke, which new lens they buy. They will be buying, and not have anything. When you check their account balance, you're not seeing anything. Because any new equipment. But at the end of the day, you need to photography. Yes, it's giving you money, but you also need to have other things that you're doing. You can even if you don't have anything, you can buy lands, you can buy stocks. You can buy stocks. These are the investment that you can even just keep your money somewhere, is growing, know the right stocks that you're buying, or you can just buy land or diverse at the end of the day, because there will be a point you will not be doing this photography anymore. And not just, photography, especially wedding. There's a season this person is trending more. I don't know if you're getting me.
Yes.
It moves. There's a season this person is trending more. There's a season. So those times that you're even trending more, bank on it. Keep anything you keep saving, build the money, diversify, so that even when new things are coming out, you have the funds to do this thing, just to keep moving, and also have other business that you can actually fall back on if maybe you're tired of photography and all. Do you get? So that's just it. You have other things that you can even do, you love to do. You know, the photographers, they buy investments worth millions, and at the end of the day, most of them have not traveled. You can travel. So when you can travel. It's part of building yourself, not just your brand. You're building you're going out to see different people, you know, travel, now when you want old, when you go travel. I don't know if you're getting me.
I
So
get you
travel, live the
100%.
moment, you know, and all. These are part traveling is an investment. People don't know.
100%.
It's an investment. You know, so I feel like that's just the major thing.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I really love that
Yeah.
you've touched on every important thing.
Yeah.
There's something I said. There's someone last year.
Mm-hmm.
If I go check the person's account, I'm not trying to exaggerate
Okay.
or trying to make add numbers to it. This person should make nothing less than 1 billionaire in this our industry. I will not say the exact thing that the person does.
Okay.
The person should make nothing less than 1 billionaire. I wish that creative can know that it doesn't count how much you make. When you stop making that money, when those hype comes down, what are the things that are left?
Yeah, of course, it's true.
Because some people are able to invest their money, put their money into good use.
Yeah.
While some people are just using their money to do whatever thing and all of that. So what you said is actually really important.
Yeah.
Ability to be able to invest in other things
In other
rather
things.
than just buying gadgets,
Gadgets all
just
the
buying
time.
gadget. Because
Yeah.
just because it's good today
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean it will be like that
Of
tomorrow.
course.
I really love that. Thank you so much for
Man,
all the wisdom you've been dropping since.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Thank you for having me, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be here. I'm really
Thank
happy
you
to
so
be
much.
here.
What do you think about the environment?
It's my vibe now. I love the calmness and
Lucas, I know you
nature.
bad. You bad,
I love
you
it.
bad,
I
you
love
bad.
it.
Are you learning
Thank
how
you.
to speak Yoruba now?
Not really. I'm not. But you know, it's something. I love the Yoruba culture. I love it so much. Most of my guys are Yoruba. You know, yes. Oh, definitely. Most of my guys are Yoruba. You know, but I'm all about. I don't really tend to go into people's culture. I know. I just tend to. You know, everybody just. We are still one. We are one.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
what?
so you know, but at the end of the day, you know, I can hear some, you know, when you speak something, I can just even pick, you know, I can understand what you're saying, you know. So but yeah, that's just it.
I like it. I like Igbo language
Yeah.
really much. Even my name is Chukutose.
Huh?
Chukutose.
Chukutosi.
You know, my full name is Oluwatose.
Oluwatosin, yes,
Oluwatose means
is
that
God.
God.
Yes, of
Oluwa is
course.
God. Then
Yes,
Chuku
Chuku
is
is
God.
Tosin. And you can't even ally,
Yeah,
Chuku Tosin.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
Chuku Emeka Tosin. So yeah, no,
it's really
it's
fun
good.
with you.
It's
Thank
good.
you so much for
Thank you,
coming
my brother. Thank you,
on
my
this
brother.
episode.
Thank you, my
So
brother.
you guys,
Ah.
I hope you enjoy this episode. Please kindly like, comment, and share this episode. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
bye, guys.
Thank you.
On to the next one.